Now that we have discussed about linear equations in two variables x and y with its solution concept and identifying the coefficients and the possible number of solutions for that linear equation in two variables x and y and its connection with real life situations, now comes the concept of understanding the same linear equation in graphical concept. As we have discussed about the Cartesian plane and the representation of points and the rules in the Cartesian plane, let's try to connect the linear equation with the graphical understanding. So the topic of the session is about graphical understanding of a linear equation. Graphical understanding of a linear equation. So graphical understanding of a linear equation in x and y. What is a linear equation in the graph in the xy coordinate system? How does it look, or what is its shape, is what we are going to discuss in brief in the session. For example, I take the general linear equation Pxy denoted by ax plus by plus c equal to 0 with the condition a, b, c, the coefficients being all real numbers and a and b both not equal to 0 is how we define the linear equation in general form. So for this, how does it look in the graph is the biggest question. So when we have each of x belonging to the real numbers and each of y equally belonging to the real numbers, I see that there are infinitely many solutions, and let's see how the shape of this linear equation looks in the graph xy coordinate system. So when I draw the x and y axis with the origin, this linear equation, as it is called linear, is nothing but derived with it looks like a line, a straight line. So linear equation has its name derived from line, and hence it looks like a straight line. So any line with just randomly passing through such a line is represented by ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So a linear equation in variables x and y in the xy coordinate system is a straight line. So a linear equation graphically is a straight line. Linear equation in a graph is a straight line which I draw with a ruler, is how I understand the graphical concept of a linear equation. Now let's take an example problem to understand the graphical concept of a linear equation more better. Let's see with an example problem considered. For example, I have an equation (4x plus 2y minus 8 equal to 0) is a linear equation. So let me take this example problem to understand this equation in the graphical form. A linear equation denoted generally by L can be written as 4x is equal to 0 is how normally I represent a linear equation. Now this, when connected with graph, the first thing I do is consider the table of values. So when a linear equation is given, I take the set of values as to graph the points. So once I plot the points, I join the points, and those points will define this equation. So let's see how we can identify the points need to be plotted. So for this, I take the variable x and the variable y in each of the rows. Now in this case, I take some fixed values this. So here we understand that when I take the fixed values of 0, 0 and 1, let's see how we can draw the line using these values. So let's see how the remaining values can be filled in the table using this equation. So as we clearly see that when x is 0, we need to find the respective y. It's about substituting the value of x in the equation and then finding the other variable y, is how we understand the concept. Therefore, when x is 0, I take x as 0 and then I get this to be 4x plus 2y minus 8 equal to 0 implies 4 times of 0 plus 2y minus 8 equal to 0, which on further simplification gives 0 plus 2y minus 8 equal to 0. And therefore, this simplifies to 2y minus 8 equal to 0, which when simplified further gives 2y equal to 8. That implies y is 8 by 2. That implies y is 4. Therefore, when x is 0, I have my y, which is 4, which gets filled in this box. Similarly, when my y is 0, what will be the value of x? Is how we understand. Therefore, when I take the value of y as 0, let's see what is the value of x. My y is 0. Therefore, substituting the value of y is 0, I get this to be 4x plus 2y minus 8 equal to 0 is what we get, which on further simplification gives 4x plus 0 minus 8 equal to 0, which on further simplification gives 4x minus 8 equal to 0, and 4x is 8. That implies x is 8 by 4, 4 to the right. That implies x is 2. Therefore, when y is 0, I have my x, which is 2. When y is 0, I get my x equal to 2, which I replace in the empty box. Finally, it's about filling the last. But we just need only 2 points to sketch the line. But we just take the third point for verification, so that when x is 1, let's see what the value of y is. X is 1. 2y minus 8 equals 0. So 4 plus 2y minus 8 equal to 0. 4 minus 8 is minus 8. Now that we have discussed about substituting the value of x here, I get this equation. Through this equation, when I simplify further, I get this to be 2y plus 4 minus 8, which is minus 4, equals 0. Therefore, I get this to be minus 4, and then I finally find the value of y from this equation. So minus 4 when I bring to the right is plus 4. When 2y equal to 4, I have 2 1s, 2 2s. That implies my y equals 2. Therefore, the value of y is equal to 2, and the value of x is equal to 2, and value of y equal to 4. Therefore, for x equal to 1, y is 2 is how it gets filled. To sketch the line, it is only essential for the 2 points in the first 2 columns, but this is not required. We only take this to just verify the line, but minimum only 2 points are required for sketching a line. Sketching through only 0, 4 and 2, 0. So let's see how a linear equation can be sketched on the real coordinate system, xy coordinate system of the Cartesian plane, to be followed with. Now that we have obtained the values of x and y respectively, I have a table of x and y values which form the coordinates. As we know that a coordinate is denoted by px, y is how we denote the coordinate. It is all x values which come in the first, which is abscissa, and all the y values which come in the ordinate. So let's see how each of the coordinates are identified. So the coordinates as identified through the first column is 0, 4. The value of x, which is 0, and the value of y, which is 4. And the coordinates which are identified through the second column are b, 2, 0. The value of x, which is 2, and the value of y, which is 0. Similarly, the coordinates as identified through the third column, which is c, which is 1, 2. The value of x, which is 1, and the value of y, which is 2, is how we identify the 3 set of coordinates picked from the table. Now let's see how we can plot these points on the Cartesian plane. This is the Cartesian plane. This is x-axis. This is y-axis. And then this is origin. Now let's plot through the scale of 1 centimeter equal to 1 unit. Four, 5, and this is the scale, and then comes this. So once the scaling is done for both x and y axis with 1 centimeter equal to 1 unit in this case, let's see how the points can be plotted. Initially starting with a, which is 0, 4, my x coordinate is 0 and my y coordinate is 4, I get my first point, which is out here. Secondly, my second point, which is 2, 0, means 2 units to the right and no units out, no up and down movement in the y coordinate. Therefore, my b is 2, 0, which plots out here. Similarly, my c, which is 1 unit to the right and 2 units up. Therefore, my c moves 1 unit here up, and therefore I get this to be the third coordinate. Now, as we know that these two lines when joined through a ruler, I get a straight line. The third point is only for verification that it also passes, or else this would be a wrong equation or something is wrong with the values, is how we cross check through the verification process. So now that we got, it's about joining the line. Here is the line which I get for the given equation. Equal to 0. A line with the equation 4x plus 2y minus 8 equal to 0 is this line in the xy coordinate system. A linear equation is a straight line as given here in the coordinate system. Graphical understanding of a linear equation in x and y. A straight line. is how I understand through the learning outcome.
If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel to get more videos on CBSE syllabus.